I was in the elevator and I was listening to these two international girls talk about how excited they were for going to a bagel shop. And my first reaction was, oh my god, like this is so stupid. Why are they like fawning over bagels? Like one person pulled up the picture of bagels and was like, oh my god, these bagels look so good. I'm actually so excited for them tomorrow. And then she showed them to the other person. And they were like, oh my god, look at the bagels. They're so awesome. My first reaction was, oh my god, like these people are so stupid. Why are they obsessing over bagels so much? And then I took a moment. I took a step back. And I was like, oh my god. Like I just think like that now. You know? And that really concerned me. Hello? Oh, I think I'm not even talking through my mic. Whatever. But that really concerned me. And the reason was I didn't used to be that cynical at all, you know? I think if I heard that conversation before, maybe it was because I was in a bad mood, but that's not a good excuse either, because I used to always be in a good mood. Not always, but even if I was in a bad mood before, I don't think I would have this strong of a reaction to bagels, you know? It was a very strong, mean, targeted reaction, okay? And this brings me to the first part of the title, cynicism. I've become so cynical, and like I keep saying this, but I think a lot of times I make claims about myself and I say things about myself, and then people ask me, "Oh, do you have an example?" I can't come up with an example, but this is very good because I've come up with an idea brought on to me again by an example, right? A reinvigorated idea by example, so I can actually talk about this example. Before, I think like senior year me would be very much in support of this type of talk, you know? Like, I feel like senior year me would be the one to be like, oh my god, I'm so excited to do this tomorrow or to do this in class tomorrow. I'd always be very excited for things, very positively looking at things and like being super. Why did the creeper sound? Oh, that's the gas. Anyways, um, like super excited about things. Like, oh, I'm so excited to go for lunch tomorrow. Like these really simple things that people are supposed to be excited about, I would be excited about. And that would be like very good, I think. Because it's just a really positive way to view your life, I think, which is almost always a good thing, you know? But now, like, let alone in my own life, I'm not excited about things like that, but I can't even be excited for other people because of that, right? Like, that's a bit insane. And so this brings me to my second point, my ego and why this has happened. And I'll go into a little more examples later, but I think the reason why this has happened is like because of my recent, let's just say, job hunting failures of no other faults other than my own. I think I've lost a lot of self confidence, and in return, I've like needed to compensate very hard in other areas. And it's like the more I think about it, the more it's true. Like, here's what I say. I think I've been very privileged to um not have like to be decently talented in certain like a good amount of areas that sometimes I just like things came pretty naturally to me, and like it's like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, and then like, okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is like I've always been pretty good at things, I've never had to be like really bad, like horrible at something, and like being searching for a job currently as of now, like I've been horrible at, I don't think there's a single person around me that I know that has had a worse performance than me. Obviously, people don't talk about that much if they have a bad performance, but And realistically, it just feels like I'm at the bottom of something. You know, not even in the middle of the pack. I'd be fine if it's in the middle of the pack even. I'm just at the bottom, straight up. You know, and I don't think that's ever happened to me before. Very fortunately. Okay. Now, what this does to you, I think, is it allows you to be a very nice person in your head. If that makes sense? I think for some people, it's like possible to get drunk, quote unquote, off this power. And I was never like, it's not power, just like off this like, oh, I'm better than everyone type like thinking. But I was always like, I think I got more satisfaction of feeling the like almost moral high ground of like not thinking that way. You know, I'd have thoughts of that, and obviously I probably would have like subconscious thoughts like that maybe, and as a result of I'm like, oh, I'm not even gonna think like that. I felt so in control, and I felt like, you know, like so good about it. Like it made me feel even better, honestly. In a sense, it's like I see. Even this is such a representation of my new cynicism, but like I always think when you're being nice to people, you're always doing it for yourself. Like it's probably not that extreme, but I kind of believe this. And I'm just really not willing to give myself credit for being nice. You know, because it just makes you feel good to be nice. Like, it's mutually beneficial for both parties, don't get me wrong. But I just don't think, like, being nice has fully good motives. You know, it's, like, very hard to, like, what I'm saying is, like, it's very hard to have fully good motives, and it's very kind of useless to analyze the motives that much, because everyone has very much ulterior motives, because it, by the nature of making people, like, helping people, it already makes you feel good. So obviously, like, helping people is not purely for the other person's sake, if that makes sense. But yeah, the sake of that tangent is just saying, like, before I just felt good helping people in my head, like, not being mean to people in my head, because my ego was already insecure enough that I didn't need to, and like any attacks against me or would just like fly right above my head, right? Like if people made fun of me for like, you know, being lazy. This is another key example. People used to make fun of me for being lazy, and that would just fly over my head, you know? I'd be like, oh yeah, it's fine. You know, I'm still doing fine. Now when people do it, like, it's really bad. I don't know if, I think people are annoyed at me, number one. And number two, it just makes me feel bad, too. Because I'm like, also, this is just me, like, siphoning away I'll slight segue, and then we'll jump back on the recursive stack. But then, so basically, yeah, I always just, like, I'm really bad at blaming myself for things. I think when it comes to interpersonal things, I am okay with taking blame. When it comes to personal things, like not finding a job, I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally my fault. I say it's my fault, and then I don't do anything about it, because I think everything's gonna work out fine. So then I just push everything through that hole, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I'm not gonna get a job. Wait, but it's fine. Everything will work out fine. And then it's recursive too. It's like, then I'm like, oh my god, I cannot think like this. Thinking like this is so bad for me, you know? Like, if I keep thinking like this is gonna be so horrible, and I push that through the whole, oh, it's fine, like everything will work out fine. But I can't think that. No, but it's fine, everything will work out fine. It's so bad. You know, like, I stopped believing in work and, like, things, and, like, I only just pray. You know? Like, it's such a bad habit, such a bad habit. Anyways, that's not what the video today is about. So, back to, yes, so, as I was saying, because my ego has been so diminished, and, like, my self-confidence is, like, so weak, I've never practiced, like, not lashing out at people in my head, and not being cynical and mean to prop myself up. I've been finding myself doing that so much more, an insane amount more. And it feels so bad every time I do it, but every time you do it more and more, you just feel like it just becomes part of your toolbox to help yourself, you know, if that makes sense? Like, if, you know, it's I don't know. I think it's just like very subtle ways. I just like I honestly started kind of freshman year, so maybe it's not this is the primary cause, but it's just like I think like if you have never really felt at risk or being attacked, like you don't attack other people. The closer you are in danger, the more internal attacking of other people you do, the more mean you are in your head. You know? And even to people too. Like the more like I used to be a very like, oh, I should give gifts for people's birthdays. Like this is so nice. Like I need to. But now I just don't care. Or I've made myself not care. And I don't know, maybe this is a slight product of that. That's another tangent. So many tangents. But basically what I'm saying is like I just feel I'm so much meaner in my head now. Like I used to be able to feel like when you're in a very secure spot, it's very easy to feel very happy for like everyone. Obviously, like on a logical level, I guess. I'm very happy for all the friends around me that have great jobs, right? But obviously on an emotional level you're going to feel very different. You can't really control that, right? I mean you can. As I learned from CBT, you can control your thoughts to control your feelings. But yeah. Anyways. Regardless, like it's just like I just view things in such a more like defeated light to protect myself. Like I keep calling things like stupid. This is so stupid. School is so stupid. Finding a job is so stupid. Adult life is so stupid. Someone recommended me The Catcher in the Rye as a book to read because I keep saying these things, and apparently the main character is exactly like me. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. So stupid. You know, like I just think everything's so stupid, which is stupid. You know, and I never used to use stupid as a word, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like in high school, like even the first year of college, I think like I would think like calling things stupid is like really mean and rude. And I still agree with that. I just don't like, you know, it's just like these habits and like these slippages are like it's not fun. You know? Oh. Yeah, anyways, sorry, my recording lagged out. But as I was saying, it's just not fun. It's not a good mindset to have, and I just don't like it very much. Oh, hopefully the audio's fine. Anyways, yeah. And so, having this mindset, this is jumping back to the first point a little bit, it's not nice because, oh, this is introversion. Perfect. If you look at my old Shnuckatwo videos, I used to just tell stories about everyday life. You know, I had stories about random things that would happen to me and I would find so wonderful. And, you know, I was thinking like this is just me losing my childlike wonder, and that happens because things just become less new. But I don't think that's true. I still think life is so vast and the experiences are so unique that you can always find something unique and special about an experience you have. You know, like I'm experiencing enough things in college to the point where like I can take a look at a day. I've done these things and I can for sure come to some sort of realization or a positive framing or funny framing like I used to do in my Shnuckatwo videos when I just don't anymore. You know, I just like, oh, nothing really happened today. Every day is the same. But it's really not. And what made me realize this is I had a dinner with my PC, my pledge class, that I hadn't seen in a while because I've just been really like MIA this semester doing work and like a hell of stuff. But because of that, I hadn't seen them in a long time, and they had so many stories to tell. Like my PC, I think that having a PC is like a very hand-selected group of people that are very good at like talking about things, you know, because that's exactly what Rush is. You just talk about things in the most interesting way possible, and so they're very good at talking about things. And so they had like stories about someone like sitting next to a stranger on a bus. That's simple, you know, like these super simple interactions, like drama over planning spring break. Like these are the conversations and like things I should focus on. You know, it's like Because if you don't focus your energy into these small things, what do you focus your energy into? Sure, big goals and whatnot, but like from on day-to-day life, I think it's really worth like actually genuinely like romanticizing it. It's really good to, you know? Romanticizing by making it a story, making it feel important, making small things and like feel like new, you know? And that's how you do it, by making stories out of them, by telling stories out of them, and by communicating to people those stories, because like it's fun and like, you know, it's like interesting. Life is interesting. And so I was sitting there and I realized, holy cow, like I just feel like I used to be able to like take an event and spew out like a wonderful, like nice little story from it, you know, and tell it in a really nice way, because I viewed it like that. I genuinely viewed my life as like kind of like nice little snippets and stories, you know? And I just don't do that at all. You know, I tell one story, I'm like, oh, this funny thing happened, and it's like 1 minute long, and I cannot drag it out. I cannot add details. It's like more and more so, it's more events rather than stories and fun things that happen, you know? It's just like it's something very small I noticed. But adding on that, these two factors make up for my introversion, right? If you're less confident in what you have to say, a lot of times you just speak less. I think that's true. I just don't feel, you know, as qualified as I was before. Like, not in terms of just job, but it's just like as a person, you know? Like, it just really, like, once your self-confidence starts to chip, and like, it's really kind of hard to recover. So I'm actually very thankful that I was able to have such a strong foundation as a kid. But, you know, that just lends it to being very fragile if challenged, I guess, which you just need to build the skills to defend it healthily, I guess, right? I don't know. Yes. So what was I saying? Exactly that. Yes. Introversion. So I'm more introverted now because of that, partially, one, and partially two, I don't have practice romanticizing my own life enough and keeping track of the interesting things that happen enough to myself, where I just don't have things to share to other people because I don't have things to share to myself. You know, if I don't keep track of fun events and fun things that happen, what am I going to talk to people about? You know, I notice all I have been talking to people about is complaining about acapella. That's, oh, why does this recording stop? I think it might just be using all my RAM, but these are only two things open. I'm going to pause. But that's a point to stop and think of. One sec. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully the audio isn't too loud. But yeah, exactly. Like, I just like, I complain to people, and that's all I do. It's so bad. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so stressed about my show. What's so stressful about your show? Oh my god, this. It's so horrible. It's so horrible. I really don't like it. Like, I need to be able to feel confident and package, like, and sell my life as interesting, because I view it as my life as interesting. If I don't even believe my life is interesting, filled with nice moments, and am cynical about everything, oh, this is stupid, oh, this event is stupid, oh, I hate meeting people, like, obviously this is going to be like so horrible, right? I'm not going to have anything to talk to people about, because I personally just don't record anything of note to myself in an interesting way, you know. And so I just have to view things more positively, I think, and that'll have a cascading effect on both my mental health and my confidence to build it back up and just be more confident, you know. Okay, now I think that packs up nicely into the first segment of the first three things, and now it applies to the second two things and how I can fix that, right? So obviously I realized that, like, you know, my cynicism causes me to not romanticize my life as much, which in turn, with my failed job search reducing my self-confidence, causes me to, actually, how about this? My failed job search causes me to feel insecure about myself, in many ways. This, because I have not felt as insecure as before, forces me to defend my ego in ways I'm unfamiliar with. This combined with my new, and causing in part my new cynicism towards everything, forces me to not be able to have as interesting of engaging, not be as interested and engaged in my life as I used to be. As such, this combined with my cynicism and also lower self-confidence and my lower ability to make my life interesting to myself causes me to be more introverted, which in turn further reduces my self-confidence. That's the cycle, and that ties up neatly into a nice little pack. And so with this, let's take a look at my brother and my failed job search. I feel so much pressure on behalf of my brother. I think I genuinely just do. I like, my parents are stressing about my brother and applying to college. My thought that keeps popping in my head every time is, if I just had a good job by now, they wouldn't even have to worry about that, and I wouldn't even have to worry about that. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm sure if I asked my brother, like, if you ask my brother this, like, he'd have a different opinion on it, right? Like, obviously he wants to go to a good college himself, I'm sure. But, like, I think the whole point of going to good college is you can get a good job and support family. And if I could support the family, not out of, like, pride or anything, just out of, like, maybe out of pride, I don't know. I just don't want the pressure to fall on my brother. Like, there's so much pressure. I don't know. I just feel like if my parents were in that situation, their thought process is like, holy cow, my first son cannot find a job for his life. We sent him to great college, and now he can't find a job for his life. And now we have to make sure our second son goes to a good college. That's a double whammy. It's so stressful for them. They're thinking like, oh, what if not, like, it's gonna be so cooked, because, like, what if we don't get a job, and then, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so stressful. But if I did have a job, would have, could have, should have, but it was just, I could help him. I could focus on that. I could help my parents. Like, it's bad because I cannot be in a position of helping my brother when I can't even help myself first. It's that argument. It's not like my parents don't look for help from me. It's just like I feel like it's so. I just, yeah. So that's that, right? And like today, my parents called me like just now, and I was about to like go into like spiral mode, but like I stopped myself because I was like, okay, this is useless if you just spiral mode. But yeah, but it's just like feels so bad because like I just feel like I've caused my brother so much stress too, or like not been able to help him because I just not have been able to effectively deal with my own things, So that's that. But now job, right? One of my friends is a very big proponent of like the way things should be how we were evolved to be, right? And I was thinking about this. I attended one of his lectures today, and he was like, oh yeah, you be a hunter-gatherer. And I was like, okay, let me just consider this one more time, because I hadn't considered his proposition. He's been trying to like ask me this for the past like year, and I've considered it. My ideal life, I told people, and I tell people because I was thinking about it, is I wake up, I play pickleball, and then I go swimming maybe, and then I relax. Like, I wake up and go to a nice brunch place or something. I pick up more pickleball, and then at dinner I like go eat some fancy restaurant or something, and I come home and play a little bit of Minecraft, unwind, watch YouTube, and I go to sleep. That honestly sounds wonderful to me, and I don't think anyone can convince me otherwise. Because if I get bored of pickleball, you ask, oh, what do? Okay, I can try other sports. Maybe I can, I don't know, actually. I was thinking I would just tutor people. I think that would be fun. Or I could be a teacher part-time. It's low commitment, and if I get bored, I can do some of my side projects, I think, like, I don't know. This may be a really wrong interpretation, but sorry for the frozen video. You guys have to tell me when it's frozen. Oh my god, I sound so schizophrenic. Yeah, but I just think like that what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I just think like I'd be have enough like generative ability and like be able to like entertain myself enough that I would be happy without a job, you know? And like obviously this ideal life is like not possible, right? And like I've said this I think, but like I think this is the reason why I'm like so, or this is the excuse I feed myself to like not look for a job. Obviously it's just like internally why I don't want to look for a job. I'm scared and I think I've already, you know, like failed, and like no matter how hard I look at this point, I'm not going to be able to catch up, you know? And it doesn't mean I can't get a good job, it just means I can't get a great job or like exceptional job at this point, I think. Unless I like take extreme measures, which I don't think would be good. Maybe it would, I don't know. So that's the thing, right? And the reason why I'm prevented from taking extreme measures is honestly because of this thought that like, oh yeah, hunter gatherers, because hunter gatherers all they was just hunter gatherer, and then like they need some community. Obviously I hope that I'd be living with someone in New York together, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, so that's what I want. But like, because of that, like, you know, because job is not part of my ideal vision, like I just use that as an excuse to like not look, I guess. Like that's the emotive, I use that as like a generating emotion thing. I think this and I generate the emotion against looking for a job, and I just don't. Um, so yeah, how do I address this problem? Like I just think like I just have to commit to it, you know, like but every time I commit to looking a job, I think like my friend's voice in my head plays is like, oh, maybe you'd be happy with that. But the problem is like this is not true. Like I don't think I would be happier out of college, especially this summer, if I don't have a job. You know, I want to at least try what it feels like in New York. You know, as some type of company. Like, I don't know. At this point, it might be too late. But like, I just can't. I just gotta try. You know, I gotta try something. Because right now, if I don't have a, you know, I actually use the same argument against him. I have to use it against myself. My argument against his, like, he really wants us to go back to hunter-gatherers because it's what we're most evolutionarily matched to, right? Our evolutionary evolved us to be hunter-gatherers, so we should be hunter-gatherers. I think this flaw in this logic is like, okay, sure. I actually can maybe take the argument that, like, hunter-gatherers back then were happier than us now. I can take that argument. Like, yeah, sure, we can assume that. However, us placed back into hunter-gatherers is not going to be happier than us now in current society because we're just so used to this, you know? And, like, the solution to that, though, is I think we can emulate that in modern society as similarly as possible to be good, you know? And that just involves interacting with people a lot, living with people a lot, you know, catching up with people you enjoy, you love, and like technology enables us to do that too, right? And so the idea, what was the argument? The idea is like you can't apply, like, if you're already in a state, you just have to do what's best to get out of this state. You can't be like, oh, we have to like nuke everything. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just be because, oh, I failed this, like, I'm not gonna search, you know? You just have to keep going. But this is what I tell myself. This is what my parents tell me. This is what everyone around me tells me, you know? It's the most logical advice, and it's all very clear in my head, but for some reason, I fail to click the button, and I think it's so bad. I know why, too. I'm just afraid, and but I just feel no shame. I think I've been so good at, like, never making myself at fault. Nothing is ever my fault, because the universe will work it out. See, it just gets pushed into the pipeline, pushed into the, oh my god. But yeah, hopefully I'll start looking. I don't think this is actually very inspiring. It's not as epiphanous. Oh my god, my screen is frozen again. This is so stupid. Oh, I gotta stop using that word. 1 second. Hey, we're back. Okay, I fixed it. But yeah, I think I just got to do it. You know, all this and analyzing and stuff can only get you so far. You just gotta make do with what I have. I just really gotta look positively. It's such a skill, and I've realized this so many times in my life. 11th grade me would honestly clock me still. It's that simple, you know? Like, I remember 11th grade I was being negative. I was like, oh, just think more positive. You gotta be more positive, Kevin. You can't be cynical. And it worked. Like, I saved myself. Okay, that's way too dramatic. But I saved myself from becoming more cynical by just being more positive. I was so good at that. It's one of my top skills, top traits. But now it's like, it's gone. It's completely gone. It's not a trait I have anymore. Being positive. You know, I'm negative Nancy now. Sorry. Stop complaining, you know? It's such a nuisance if I keep complaining. Oh, is this a trail? What is it called? I don't know. Should I start digging? But yeah. Be happy, complain less, be more confident, enjoy your life a little more. Okay, romanticize your life a little more. And things will go up. So do not give up. Because... Wait, oh, it's over there. I'm gonna find the spirit treasure and then I'm gonna end the video. But that video was why I titled it Cynicism, Ego, Introversion, Brother, Job. I love how this video is so much more coherent than my other one. I honestly think it's pretty good. Hopefully more silly ones will return, but I don't know. I just don't have the energy. See, this is so bad. I thought... Uh-oh. I'm back to negative Nancy mode again. I wonder what people think. Like, do people think, like, watch my video and, like, think I'm just absolutely insane? Probably, you know. Watch this magic trick. Ready? Look at that. I knew exactly where it was. I don't need TNT. What do I need? I need hard to see. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah. Let me know what more. Do you guys want more story videos? Do you guys want... I don't know. I don't know if people actually want videos. Anyways, that's all I have for today. I can't believe I'm still gaining subscribers. People watch this stuff. It's very thankful, I guess. Okay, anyways. Thank you guys for watching. I have a long day ahead of me. Where did my Fitbit go? I do have a long day ahead of me. I was funny. Oh, I have to wake up at 9. Okay. Good night. Stay happy, stay positive. Goodbye. Oh, remember to like the video and comment. Okay, bye.